on. I'll go a clap. Man clap. Actually,
It was better.
It's in.
I'm not going to lie though. Visually looking at it, it didn't look
It
like
didn't look manly. That's because of the microphone to face distance. That was where it was like, oh, Hercules.
Yeah. It's a Eddie Murphy mom, the Nutty Professor mom clap.
Is your mic definitely angled all right there?
Yeah, that's
right?
facing right at me.
That's like a cool beans. Right, so we're back. We're episode 3.
I know. I
On
can't
rock
believe
and roll.
we've actually
We're
managed to
rolling.
do three in a row.
That's it. 3 in a row. I think that's it. Once you get past 3, you're off.
Yeah.
Rolling. It becomes a habit. You are actually now this is going to sound quite, my Friday night habit.
Sounds naughty.
It does sound wrong, doesn't it? But like in the lockdown, it's because you're kind of just on your own so much. It's nice to know that Friday, we'll lose coming Friday.
Yeah.
So that's all cool. It's like, so you're my Friday night habit.
Well, I'm flattered.
Yeah, it made me feel good. And it's actually where we're going to start off this week. Hang on. Well, we'll tell you, we're going to answer some of the questions from last week. Reason being, we don't have any more questions just because I've had a hiatus from the old socials. Yeah. I had a bit of a shitty week, if I'm honest. So we're going to address that because a lot of people online follow me for the upbeatness of my being, I guess.
Yeah.
I do dumb stuff and I film it. But what you see, I do.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this before, obviously, we were recording. I had, I don't know why. There was no real reason for it. I think it was like a subconscious build-up. I just woke up one day, came downstairs, and there was just nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing in me. Just didn't even want coffee. I just looked at everything as a chore. Everything seemed like I felt like I was going to film something to film it rather than to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I was just got in a real rut with that. And so I didn't film. So I thought, I'm not making it up. I'm not going to pretend everything's cool. When it's not.
Yeah.
So what you see of me of nonsense is true nonsense.
Yeah, genuinely. Well, obviously from knowing Lex on social media before knowing Lex in real life, that's literally just what he's like.
Yeah.
It's not made up. I think from what we were talking about, obviously in the last couple of podcasts, we do talk about getting motivated and, some of the things that we use, but also no one's infallible. Everyone, they're good rules to follow, but it doesn't mean that just because we talk about it, we never have problems where we struggle with motivation or mood or whatever else. It happens to everybody.
I think it's really good to know, and it sounds a bit shitty, but it's good to know it's unavoidable. As in, if it hits you, it's cool, it's normal.
Yeah.
It's unavoidable. When we're in such a depressive state as a country, as a world at the moment, I guess.
Yeah.
There's no way of avoiding it. All we're doing is kind of surfing the wave.
Yeah.
And you're going to come off the board a few times. It's just that you've got to get back on the board.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what it's about. And you were saying yourself you'd had a bit of a week just where, again, no reason.
Yeah. Well, it was more just it was one day really, yesterday, and it was
better than me. You manned up.
It was I don't know what it was. And yeah, it really got in my head, and I felt really pathetic for not necessarily not being able to pin it down to one particular. I couldn't be like, okay, this is the reason why I'm feeling shitty today.
And you're like me with that. You need that, this happens because of this.
Yeah.
And then you're good.
Yeah.
If there's no reasoning, you just kind of have this lack of clarity.
Yeah.
And it sends you off.
Yeah, it's disconcerting not knowing why. I guess just it's like, oh, okay, what has changed?
Yeah.
And then talking to my partner and processing a bit of why I was feeling shitty or trying to figure out why, and then we didn't come to a conclusion, but then the result was to make a conscious effort to attempt to feel better.
Yeah, but talking about it as well.
Yeah.
Because then you're at least acknowledging, I've been in a shitty mood. Have you noticed it? And they're like, yeah, I noticed it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, cool. So they can pull you up on it when they can, because sometimes when you get real misery guts stage, you don't even feel miserable anymore.
No.
You just feel normal because you've been miserable for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And so you don't realize how grumpy you're being, how short you're being, how mad you're getting at stuff for no real reason. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm pretty good at catching myself when I get like that. I really make a conscious effort to not get mad when something goes wrong. If something happens, here's what I used to do, right? So I used to have, a red MR2 Toyota, body kitted up, T-bar one.
Nice.
It looks sick. They're pop-up headlights.
Yes.
Dude, I went to try and buy one the other month because I had a nostalgia moment. Yeah. And I was like, I just want one on my drive just for a weekend. Because I was torn between getting a classic, something I can work on and do bits and bobs and enjoy, or a classic that's also still about.
Yeah.
Being used by boy racer-ish.
Yeah.
And Toyota MR2 popped in. Dude, they're going for like £7,000 now. I have to swear I bought mine for like £2,000 every single time.
Yeah, it's gone past. It's got reached the tipping point where it is like
Now it's a classic.
classic. Yeah, it's in that territory, isn't it?
But a prime example of one time I remember, and this was like pure unadulterated Lex mood. Yeah. So it was body kitted up, which meant it was 2 inches off the floor at best. You know, which inevitably is going to make you mad at some point.
You're asking for trouble.
And we're not talking flexi body kit. We're talking solid fiberglass, angry looking thing. Yeah. And I remember I was parking it, and it was somewhere in a town. And you know when you don't, it was a parking on a slant. Yeah. So the curb got progressively bigger as the slant went down. They didn't follow it like a normal human would. No, they thought, well, it needs a bigger curb. We'll level the playing field with a big curb, but the whole parking lot slanty.
Yeah.
So as I came and pulled in, the curb got bigger on one side and I didn't notice it. And so I caught my bumper properly. You know when you hear the noise and you're hoping, you go, and you're in the car doing that. Do I look at it? Do I look at it? And I was like, I've got to go look at it. And I got out and it chunked a triangle out of the bottom of the body kit. You know when you can, and it was red. The car was red. Yeah. And I could see white. Yeah. Just this white.
Oh God.
And I remember I got so angry. Now where's the logic in this? That I swore at the curb. Yeah. Called it a fucking piece of useless concrete or something, then question the universe, why would you make the curb bigger as the car park goes down? And then to top it off, exclamation point, kicked the curb full football kick with my foot in a trainer, not a boot, not a steel toe cap, no trainer, whoomp, kicked it, then wondered why my foot nearly broke. So now I'm mad, got a cracked car and possibly a broken foot.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, how shit snowballs when you're pissed off, you actually end up fucking yourself up more a lot of the time.
Yeah, it does you no favours to get angry at the situation. No. Like what's gonna the curb won twice. I was 2-0 down to the curb. Yeah.
There's no one up in the curb, is there?
But that is the point I go back to in life. Whenever I'm about to get mad at something, I think curb's going to win again, Lex. Yeah. The curb is coming back. It's coming back. So I'm very good at managing this like negativity that can build. I catch it real quick and I shut it off because I'm aware that I can get that way. Yeah. So I think a big thing is being aware. And so I was aware. My point being, I was aware that I was in this slump. Yeah. We don't know the reason particularly. Like you didn't know the reason. No. But slump hit and I thought, okay, everything seemed overwhelming. Got to film this for YouTube. Got to film this for Instagram stories. I've got to get that going because people rely on me to do this. I started feeling a bit overwhelmed and a bit like, and it's a bit pussyish if I'm thinking about it. It's like, I've got to film some stuff for Instagram. How hard? Oh, you poor boy. But it's not essentially the act itself. Yeah. It's more the pressure you're putting on yourself.
Yeah, to actually, you have to do it. Like, like when do you get days off from Instagram?
Don't ever.
Like that's what I mean. And how long have you been doing this for now?
7 years.
So like no matter how someone would perceive making content for social media, how easy or hard they would perceive that to be. You do anything for 7 years without a day off, it's gonna be challenging, isn't it?
Yeah.
So like I guess it swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Like it might be easier in some ways. Yeah, you don't necessarily have to dig holes for
I honestly feel blessed that I do what I do, which is why when I have these moments I feel like, what are you talking about? I'm being a bitch. Yeah. Like, what are you on about? Would you rather be working in some office doing bullshit you hate? Yeah. Every day you get to do something that you enjoy. But like anything, we get desensitized, don't we? And work becomes work. Yeah. So I have to I do that as well. I remind myself, that's another one to go, would you rather be in office? Now, because I wanted to do like teaching or law was two things I was going through. So one was I went into law courts and worked there. Worst thing I ever did. Dreadful as work experience as a kid. So I go back to that moment. Is that where you want to be? Is it where you can't wear sleeveless t-shirts as you found out on your first day walking into the law courts? Yeah. I walked into law courts wearing brown boots, jeans, and a cut off green t-shirt, and wondered why they had an issue. I was like, what, you can't wear this? What happened to being cool in law, people? And they're like, get in the filing cabinet and do some filing.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, they stuck me like in the back and was like, shirts. And I was like, oh.
That was your work experience?
That was my work. Oh, yeah, and then I got so like involved in stuff because because they just would get people in and they just do filing. And I'd be like, no, I want to see the court records and I want to do this. So they had me sitting in court watching cases, which was pretty cool. Yeah, and also really like pretty sure not allowed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. I was just literally allowed to walk in and I'd be able to read the case file before I went in and then go and sit and watch it and be like, you're going down.
Guilty! Yeah, bring your own gavel in there.
It's this kid at the back with a lunchbox and a plastic hammer. Guilty! Yeah. So they then moved me from there. I then got to go out with the bailiff guy.
Oh, damn.
They got me out the office.
Yeah.
To the point where that's the most miserable thing I've ever seen in my life. What a horrible, horrible thing to have to be. Like, saw people getting kicked out their homes.
Shit.
Like, proper families, like, with kids. And they were swearing at these guys, like, you heartless bastard. How can you do this? And the boys who were saying, I was like, how do you, like, this is rough. And they were like, yeah, no, we hate it. It's horrible. He said, but we have to also remember the people who are getting kind of pulled out their homes, they used to say to me this, they've had months and months and months of being able to stop this happening in some way. And I was like, maybe, but also, like, still rough.
I was going to say, it's not that they've had months and months, it's a lot of the time I would imagine it, so they financially can't.
Yeah, I think maybe that's how the guys dealt with what they were doing.
Yeah.
Is they'd be like,
tell yourself
they've been given opportunities, we're the last end of the line thing, this isn't a thing we're pushing. But yeah, that was real. That was a tangent. Let's not go down that negative tangent anyway. Yeah. That made me appreciate a lot of things.
Do you want to know about my work experience at school?
Yeah, why not?
It's a very short story. But
did we discuss that you were a naughty lad at school? No, we haven't. Well, so we discussed that personally. So
no, we spoke about some bits in the last podcast.
Okay, but we didn't go deep into how naughty you were.
Okay, we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, Lou was a roguish child.
Yeah, I was a lovable rogue, maybe. That'll be...
Before we tell the story, should we do the bottle?
Yeah, do the pour.
Because as always, we are sponsoring ourselves with some form of liquor during these sessions. So Lewis has picked up this one. Mr. Lewis has picked... Oh, we haven't introduced ourselves.
I'm Mr. Lewis.
I'm Lex. You should know by now. It's episode 3.
Yeah.
Right, there we go. Black Country Barbell, black_country_barbell on Instagram for Lou's Gym and Lex_fitness. You'll find us. We're there. Same for YouTube. Are you on YouTube with Barbell?
We are on YouTube, but we don't really do a lot. I think it's just Black Country Barbell, just with spaces.
Okay, well, it will be happening. Future online, because we're going to be doing way more content and stuff. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to the matter literally in hand. So you have picked this up from where? Just a normal supermarket?
It was Tesco's, 30 quid from Tesco's.
Oh, it was 30?
Yeah.
So it's not our previous £15.
No,
this is a bit more serious.
Yeah, I was struggling for choice. I was in a bit of a rush, and the choice is decent there, but there was like the lower budget stuff just wasn't very impressive. Not as many cool bottles.
If you haven't listened before, we pick our... not through the savviness of our knowledge, but because is the bottle cool? Does it have a cool label? Is there a cork?
Yeah.
And it ticks all 3 boxes.
Yeah.
It's called the Burning Barn, forged from the fire, literally is what it says, and then honey and rum. Burning Barn, honey and rum. And the cool thing about this is it tells a little story on the back. It does say, in September 2015, our barn burnt down. Forged from the fire and smoke of that day comes Burning Barn rum. And I think that's quite apt to what we just talked about. Yeah. They had their entire barn burnt down. They were like, do you know what? We're going to use this as a story to create a new rum. Yeah. So they used it as fuel. And I think that's what we're going to do with hopefully what you'll do with our stories at the end of this podcast.
Well, I don't know whether it's the same, but I know with some whiskies, they actually put in like burnt wood.
Yeah,
and like I wonder whether they literally
use that wood.
Yeah, whether it's metaphorical or whether it's literal.
Well, we didn't read much further because we got stuck on a word after that point. Because it then says the finest, and now I'm pretty sure, right? I'm going to spell it to you guys first. It's Guyana, and we think this is a country somewhere in like Colombia or somewhere. Was it something like that?
I don't remember.
So it's the finest, and then we went Guyanan rum, Guyanan at Gaynan. I came up with Gaynan. So any of these, which so the finest, it's either finest Gaynan, Gawanan, Guyanan,
guano,
and then we ended up with guano, guano, and then that's where we stopped reading the label. So it does say from there that it is the finest Guyanan rum with English honey, liquid gold in a bottle. BurningBarnRum.com. It is 29% volume, so actually not one of the strongest we've had.
No.
I have.
I've got high hopes it'll be quite sweet though.
If it's not strong, that should be low burn. So let's just do the open test. Does it do the pirate open test? Here we go. Oh, no. That was high. That wasn't a bunk.
Yeah.
That was more of a cheeky pop.
Yeah, maybe once the bottle's a bit more empty, though.
Let's do it again. No, that is a cheeky open. That's like... I'll pour yours. I'll be polite and pour yours first.
Oh, thank you very much. I think when the bottle's a bit emptier, that might give it a bit better of a...
That's a nice noise, though. It pours nicely.
It does. Thank you, mate.
There we go. This is home pours. I've been trying to work out what my home pours are in terms of how much I'm actually pouring out the bottle.
Like a triple?
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
That?
Oh, it's a big old ice cube as well, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know, but it does look quite a lot, doesn't it? Right, try it now. Let's see if it's still a cheeky pop. See if your theory works. There's a bit more parity.
Yeah.
Still not quite manly though. I feel like it's a bit cheeky.
Yeah.
There we go. So, burning barn run, what we're going to do, put that, there we go, on the front so you can see it. We're going to let that settle, let the ice cubes melt, because if you haven't watched before, we do tell you how to drink these things. And we do drink them neat. We're not adding anything in. And then what we do is drink them and we basically say it tastes nice or it burns us.
Yeah. It's like an uneducated.
It's super uneducated. Like, kicked out.
It's still useful information.
Kicked out of whiskey primary school level education.
We're going to get better as we go along.
Yeah.
Maybe when lockdown's over, we should actually just do some like proper tasting courses so we can give
100%
people more
is what we're going to do. But more people have been messaging me saying like, okay, they get it. So we put the ice cube in, you let that sit, you let that bring that down to temperature, and then you let it, as it melts a little bit, it gets smoother and smoother as you drink. That's the idea. So that's what we're doing. So we'll hit those in a little minute. We'll let you know what that's like. But Lewis, naughty childhood story, please.
It's literally a really short story.
Okay.
So, like I said previously, like kind of, I think I mentioned it anyway, that like when I picked topics, when I was picking my classes, because
are we in primary or secondary school?
This is secondary school, sorry,
Right.
like GCSEs, and
So about
I didn't get
15.
Yeah, 15 and 16,
Okay.
well, 15 and 16. So I didn't get my subjects that I picked a lot of the time because I was so bad. They were just like, well, you're just getting what you get. It doesn't really matter because you're going to fail it anyway. Which they were correct anyway. So like they well done them. And I think it was similar when I had like work experience. Like I again bottom of the pile for what I'm going to pick, and I ended up having like we were going to go to a place that did not fire alarms, like security alarms, but for like prisons and stuff like that. So massive like circuit boards or whatever.
Like, you're either going to get a job doing this, or you're going to go to the place that you're doing the job for.
Yeah, basically. And they were like
prison and electricity.
They were like these massive, almost like fridges, and you open them up, and it was just like full of stuff. So I saw the site once as like a. Basically, they got to meet you and they'd accept you on for their for the work experience, and then a few weeks later it started. But I got arrested the morning I was meant to start work experience, so I never
wasn't ready for an arrest.
No, yeah.
Hang on.
So,
that hit me wrong. I wasn't ready for you to say I got arrested.
Yeah.
I was not ready.
Yeah, it's like really like the one day that
just stop. The school couldn't have had a worse person.
No.
Why can't the student appear for work? Oh, he's been arrested.
Yeah, I know. It was really bad. It made me look way worse. I wasn't bad all the time,
Okay,
but like
I'm back.
It definitely it was just unfortunate timing.
Right, go on. I wasn't prepared.
So yeah, then I missed my first day, and
Can we ask what you got arrested for?
it was fighting.
Oh, that's quite cool.
Yeah, so
Yeah. 15-year-old.
yeah, it was a good fight, but maybe we'll save that for another story. I'll leave.
Was it an admirable fight, or was it not?
Well, he went into hospital.
Yeah, but did he deserve it?
Did he die?
Did he die?
No, he did. I didn't. I was trying to stop something that was about to escalate into a fight, and then I got hit,
And that was it.
and then yeah that was it.
Okay.
But anyway,
So admirable-ish.
It was silly, like realistically, but you have to defend yourself in that situation. And like me and the guy, we had some problems afterwards, but then a year or so later, we like
Friends?
not
Ish?
friends,
Oh.
like, but we kind of like
I went to Disney with it, didn't I?
Well,
A year later, married.
my best mate Chris, we met because we had a fight.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it? Sometimes these people do full circles, and you meet up later, and it's like a break in the ice point. It's like, weren't we dickheads? Yeah, we were. And then, boof, off we go.
This was literally the same day, though.
Oh, you had a fight, then became mates.
Yeah, literally
Can
the same
happen.
day. So like, it was the point where we moved up a year, and all the classes got rejumbled.
Yeah.
And I had a fight at lunchtime with actually. So me and my friend
fights,
had a
oh my
fight
God.
with him and his friend. So I was technically fighting his friend,
Right.
and he was fighting mine. And then I stopped fighting his friend because he was on the floor.
Which means you win at that point.
Yeah, so in my head,
Queensbury rules, no kicking on the floor.
yeah, and I just left it.
Yeah.
He wasn't
had enough.
He wasn't a fighter. And so I left it at that point. Was watching the other fight happen, and then like out of nowhere, Chris like did some like flying kick and got me right in the sternum and just winded me straight away.
Oh, solar
And
plexus shot.
I just was not able to do anything. Took the air out of me. And anyway, yeah. So that's where the fight ended. Well, I didn't even realise I was in the fight. But then I
flying.
Yeah, then I just was like up against the fence, like trying to breathe. And then so lunchtime happened. Then into next period, first time in this new French classroom with seating layout, and I get sat next to Chris. We're like, all right, this is a bit awkward. So we were like sat there for a bit, and then as soon as the lesson actually kind of, they did the what's it called, register, where they read everyone's name out, and then we just sat there like awkwardly for a bit, and I was like, that was a good kick, that was, mate. You proper winded, mate. And then like after that, we just got chatting, and then I think literally it might have been that day I went like, your kids go over to your mate's house.
Do you know what it is though? This is why I try and encourage people to go to like boxing clubs and MMA things or Thai, whatever it is, some kind of combative element of sport, like team sport thing. Because when you see it in the fight cage all the time, you can see two men who hate each other. But when that fight's finished, they legitimately will, most of the time, 99% of the time, either bow to one another, respect, hug each other, say great fight, whatever, you know, and there's that moment of just pureness, isn't there? Yeah. And all the aggression's gone, all the testosterone's, the what's happened has happened, and you just get these two pure, fresh canvas human beings greeting each other. Yeah. Then either like they carry on then and they're really good and respectful to each other, or like someone else says something dickhead in an interview afterwards and it comes back.
Yes,
but there is that moment where you can change which way that relationship goes. Yeah,
and for me as well at that point, like I think that was because I wasn't in a fight, so did I lose the fight? I don't know. Like you
didn't feel too bad. You were sidewinded.
Yeah, so like it was a little bit, and I felt like almost like if I can talk to him, then I can be like, well, I wasn't even expecting that. Yeah. So like, do you know what I mean? I was like almost making an excuse for myself. And then like because we used to not enjoy, but like fighting used to happen quite a lot. Yeah. And we used to like love the UFC. So like and then like it was literally regular. We just go back to his house and just beat the shit out of each other. And like just be like, we just do like body shots and stuff like that. But we just batter the crap out of each other just for the fun of it.
It's mad what you do. I was talking to I use this lockdown, so I've used it as much as we've had the downtimes. I've also used it as points to reconnect with people who are around the world, because everyone's kind of like stopped at the moment, aren't they? Yeah. So I got reconnected with one of my best friends was from not even school; it was from basketball at school years, through school years. But he was from a different school altogether, so we only saw each other at weekends. Big Chris is called. Ironically, because he's quite tall. Yeah. We should have called him tiny and been ironic with it, but he's literally about 6'9". Yeah, like ridiculous. So imagine me stood next to him. Yeah, it just you couldn't even take a picture together. I've got a picture of him. We're together at someone's wedding somewhere, and it's like him and then my face, because that's the only thing that it fits on with him. Like, I basically look like I could be his sex toy. That's pretty much it. Like, if I'm honest, I look the least manly ever when I'm stood next to this guy. And he's not a big burly fella or anything. He's just always in athletic shape because he swam a lot as a kid. So he's not a gangly 6'9".
Yeah, he's filled out, but not.
Yeah, not massive, bulky. But he doesn't look oddly 6'9". He doesn't look gangly. And I really hope he's listening to this because he'll get a crack out of it. But we were addicted as through 15, 16 years to WWE. Yeah, like. Loved it, but and my mum, when I was growing up at that point, we lived on like this ex-farm place, so loads of stuff to jump off, and we had a video camera. And I was talking the week to him, I was like, I wish I could find the video. We would do 40-minute matches, right? And just put like in the living room sometimes at 2 a.m. downstairs in his farmhouse, jumping off sofas onto each other. Yeah. But all we had on the floor, bearing in mind the floor in an old farmhouse is basically like concrete, then boarded over. Yeah. We just put these big cushions down on the sofa. Yeah, but not the ones you sit on. The cushions that go on the cushions you sit on.
Oh, right, yeah.
We just because they were quite big and fat, we had a few of those lined out, but we never thought to pull the actual big ones off. Yeah. There's a point where he choke slams me, right? 6'9" of him. He has to not lift me.
You see like 12 foot in the air.
He has to not lift me fully because he'd smack me off the ceiling. Right? And he gets me up, holds me there for a bit, and then he brings me down. Now, I was committed. If I do something, I commit to learning how to land properly so that it looks... I don't land legs first. I take the hit on my back. Yeah. And you hear him, he hits me. You hear the pillow give a momentary little bit of support, and then it completely give out, and my body just go as it hits the concrete underneath this pillow. At which point you hear from my little body go, like everyone else understand me, and he gives me a moment parading around looking tough to try and get back online because I'm just out there on the floor, but committed to the videotape we were. Yeah. It carried on. The fight goes on, and then there's near pins. We don't have one super move at this point either. Yeah. We have 8 each.
Yeah.
Because you love everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone's got 8 moves, and none of them you kick out eventually, or you'll grab something that lets you break.
Just please tell me this file, this exists somewhere. You can find this.
This is on a videotape somewhere, and pray to God it's somewhere in my mum's storage or something. Because if I find it, it's going up. It's going up, and so it carries on, and there's a bit. And this is the bit. This is how I reconnected with him. It's either the Twist of Fate, or it's the Randy Orton RKO. Yeah. But he takes it full plank, goes with it, arms down by his side, because he thinks the pillows are going to help.
Yeah.
Well, I know the pillows aren't going to help from earlier on in the match. Yeah. But so I RKO him on this pillow. But he doesn't. He's just he full planks it onto the floor. You hear his bones hit through this pillow. And then from the midst of this thunk and me looking really pleased with myself because I've got my own back, you just hear him go, pin me. He's 6'9" lad. He just, pin me. Because he doesn't have the air in his body to speak with his normal vocal cord. Yeah. So that ended the match because he literally couldn't carry on. So the other day I sent him a message, and all I sent in the message to him, he lives in Vietnam now, was pin me. And from that one message and me thinking about that moment, we've now reconnected. And after lockdown, I'm going out to Vietnam to go and chill with him and sit.
That's awesome.
I know, how sick. So these little things that you can take out of life from a while ago now, bring them back. And we were saying on the last podcast, connect with people. Use this time where we're shut down to connect. And that's one I've done. And it genuinely, that was my good week. And then for some reason this week just bottomed off. I can't remember, man. That's all.
Doesn't it? It does happen.
It's mad. But I think taking that time off socials has really helped me reset. And I think that's a big thing. I think if I'd have plowed through we said before, didn't we? That's our nature.
Yeah, just try and muscle through everything. Yeah. Just push it, whatever the problem is, ignore that and just carry on going.
Yeah, that didn't work. Next.
Yeah, which isn't not always the right approach to have.
I think a lot of entrepreneurs need that because you're going to fail at a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not going to stick. And you're going to come up with problems that only it's down to you to solve it because there's nobody else there.
Yeah.
But I think at times it can get a little bit much because you try and get too much on your plate.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and so I was saying, no matter what the context is, if there's too much on your plate, take a step back. And the biggest, we need to do the old, video is still going 3 minutes, or 2 minutes, I'll tell you this. So we always say, you can always help a mate, can't you, really easily, because you're not involved emotionally in their situation. The step back. So if you can do that from yourselves, that's going to really help you. When you have these down moments, catch it, realize it, take a step back. What have you really got on your plate? What can wait a minute? What can wait a day? And give yourself a moment. And honestly, I took time off the social, but I didn't take time off being productive. So I storyboarded some ideas to start for next week, new vlogs, new videos, been in some great business conversations, had those alongside, which I won't talk about yet because they're not signed off, but they're going to be sick. I'm just going to stop and start this now. Again, we're limited to this 30-minute bloody video camera thing. Hang on. There we go. That gets a sound.
We
can do the sip. Let me finish before we go because we tangent so easily.
I know.
So what was I saying? Already forgotten. Already forgotten. Taking a step back. That's it. Realize that some of the stuff on your plate can wait. Take a step back from it and reassess. Okay, what's really important? What we need to do now? What can just take a moment? And so I'm taking time off the socials. It took away the stress of film. Got to film this. Got to get this. And I thought, you know what? Look, you're not going to get that video up you wanted on Friday or Saturday. It can wait till Monday. It's still going to have the same information. If anything, you're going to get more now because you're going to be able to talk about this as well. And so it actually gave me time to not worry about that and actually be more productive on other levels of taking a call I'd had to put off because I thought, I've got to get that filming done. The call ended up being more than I expected and perked my week up.
Yeah.
It brought me back round. I had just finished that conversation. It's about a new full, signing with a big company doing something really cool. So that gave me that moment. And I think, so the resets, don't be afraid to have a little bit of a reset. It's okay to take a day.
Yeah.
It's
or two.
Or two, if you need it. But just when you're taking those days, be planning for the days ahead when you're restarting.
Yeah.
Have that plan of action.
Yeah. Look at the little wins as well. Like you said, you were talking about some of the things that you did around the house as well. That you took more time to get some shit sorted around the house. I did.
That is a good thing to talk. Yeah. So instead of just being sat in the house being miserable as well, which is what happens because you're miserable in your four walls, so you're not changing your environment. What's going to make you... How are you suddenly going to get happy from the same environment if you were miserable in it before?
Yeah.
You can't be, can you? No. You've got to break away, come back, see it through fresh eyes. So I thought, okay, what's the rate? We're going to be stuck until we found out we're going to be stuck in lockdown till March, aren't we? Minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum. They've said 8th of March. They're saying in the UK before they open schools again.
Yeah.
Which means gyms maybe hopefully then.
Fingers crossed.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Hope so. But so I thought, okay, so I'm here for a while. Let's make my environment a pleasure to be in. Mm-hmm. So I thought, let's go and get some little bits for the house that make it feel a nice place for me to be, because I've changed a few things around so that I can work out here, and I've got different bits in different rooms now. So that was a real thing. I didn't spend a lot of money. I spent like 50 quid. But it got me out of the house. I went to places I enjoyed, like the hardware stores. I hate supermarkets, so I didn't go there. So I went to hardware stores, felt a bit more like human, like you said, more day-to-day stuff that felt normal. Yeah. Rather than doing the weird stuff the socials requires.
Yeah, it's like you know, just living as a normal person who's not having to but your living requires you to put everything you do on social media. Yeah. Whereas, like, which is a bit strange. Don't. Yeah. It is strange. You're in an unusual situation.
Yeah. And your days are so timed. I don't think people realise this. It's like you have to have things up at a certain time, then you have to leave it a gap and then have something up. When it's like you do something, you're like, oh, crap, I've got to film that now before I can enjoy it, because once it's gone, it's gone. Yeah. So it's very much capture the moment, but you also then lose the moment yourself a little bit a lot of the time. So I think if you're living life through the camera too much, you kind of don't really live it. Yeah. And that can build up on you as well.
I think there's a balance, isn't there? Like how I'm completely the opposite. So if everything's down to me, obviously we do content for the business. But me personally, I don't really ever post on my own social media. I don't record stuff. I don't really get photos. But Emma, she's always like, we should get photos of this, that, and the other for memories. Yeah. And she's definitely got a much more balanced approach, because now looking back on certain things, I'm so glad that I've got photos. And I would never have taken them myself. It's purely because of her saying, oh, we should grab a photo of us here, or get a photo of us with the dog when we're out on a nice walk and things like that. And I never was proactive enough to do that, and especially more recently, I've really seen the benefit of doing it. So there is a sweet spot in the middle. But then I suppose if you are living, like there was this viral video of this guy who's proposing to his maybe future wife, I don't know, and she's in shock, and then for a few seconds, and then she gets out her phone to get a photo of the ring before she said anything. She's not even looked at him, and he literally grabs the phone and throws it on the floor.
Oh, good man. Also terrible her.
Yeah, that was so bad. And I was
her first thought in what
she's in shock at first
should be one of the peak moments in life, memory wise.
Yeah, it's like
unless she's been proposed to 8 times before, we don't know about
this
it.
This one's for the gram.
This one for this one's a 3-monther for the gram. Yeah. Which I'm sure there are humans.
I felt so bad for that guy.
Yeah, but he's put all this effort in, and your response to this man putting his emotions out for you, or woman if it was the other way around, because is to take your phone out. Like, man, I would reconsider the proposal at that point.
Yeah, well, that's it. There's that balance between living your life and trying to just have your life as a highlight reel.
Highlight reel life is weird. And I think there is that not living it through. Right, come on, we're sniffing this rum between us, aren't we?
Yeah, all right. We're going for the first sip.
So this is the Burning Barn. Just over it again. Burning Barn rum. Okay, first sip. Cheers, Paul. Chin.
Cheers.
Thank you, sir, for coming over again. Oh, that is delicious. Oh my god.
That's what very honey.
The honey hits you straight away on the front of your tongue, and then the rum kicks over on the back with a little bit of that spice on the back of the tongue. Second sip. So first sip, the alcohol will hit your taste buds, and you get a little bit of the burning sensation. But if you let that first sip sit in your mouth for a second, then just let it fall down your throat, that kind of coats your taste buds and gets them ready for the second sip, which will always be nicer and less of a burn if you're sensitive to the burn, which I'm going to take now. Lou's already reveling in the second sip.
I'm ready to finish this off and get another pour. This is gorgeous.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Okay. It is very honey. Yeah. Very, very honey based. If you love honey, you will love this.
Have you ever had mead?
Yes.
It's a honey.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. It's but it's because it's not like pure honey. It's like a mead and rum.
It's like almost. If you don't know, it's when you get something this sweet it's like having its own built-in mixer effectively. Yeah. But that's also shown in the percentage is only 29%.
Yes.
So if you look at the lower percentages, they're always a little bit more palatable straight off the bat, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's not necessarily a good thing always. No. But it's an indication that it might just be a little bit softer for you though.
I was going to say if you're more into the oaky alcohol side of things with the rums and whiskies and stuff, or more be into the deep spice of the rum, this isn't going to be for you. But if you like sweetness, if you've got that sweet toothishness to your personality, that is a beautiful one. Yeah. And then you can drink that neat and easy. Ooh. I have to be careful with that one.
Yeah, I know. Should we get on to some of the questions that were sent out?
Yeah, let's do... Hang on, did we finish what we're talking about before we tangent off?
I forgot.
We've already forgot. What were we talking about? How is our brain... We're like goldfish.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, look at that. That's fun in there. Ooh, look, another... Ooh, a castle. Ooh, look at that. That's shiny. Ooh, look, a castle.
I think it was...
We were talking about taking a step back, being the social side, your side... the woman with the phone and the engagement.
Yeah, that was it. It's just like it is a fine line, isn't it, between living life, documenting life, and
I do have a quick one for this one. Before I took my little break from the social, which I will be back from, like very short. It's only a short break, but it just is helping. I went out to take. It snowed here. Love the snow, beautiful. But then I had that thing. Oh, gotta go get a picture in the snow. That was my first thought, and then I thought, why are you thinking like that? So I could feel it building. This like anxiousness towards. Yeah. Oh God, I've got to go get. I feel like I've got to get that. Rather than going out and enjoying it and getting at it being out in it and just enjoying it and having my camera with me, I was going with my camera to it, which was different.
It's not organically happening.
Yes.
Like when it snowed, me and Emma, well, like I said, I just fancy going out and making a snowman. I haven't done that in years.
And I wanted to do that, and I couldn't because I had to go and take the picture.
Yeah.
See what I mean? So I lost.
Yeah. So
I wanted to make a snow dick, if I'm honest.
But we made the snowman, and then like as we were doing it, obviously I own a gym, and like we started. And it was just a normal snowman, and then like he started to have some delts, and then so like I ended up like chiseling away, giving him like pecs and abs, and then like gave him arms, and he was doing it, and then like we were like, oh, we'll get like something to make a fake barbell.
You actually made that?
Yeah.
I thought you sent me that as a joke.
Yeah.
You actually made it.
Yeah, so he's like doing an overhead press with like
the snowman is literally holding a weight above his head. How did you get the arms up and not
literally
crack?
just like snap?
Just packing it.
Yeah, just pack the snow up.
I thought you just found that picture and sent it to me as like a jest.
Yeah, no, we made that. Yeah, so
I'm gonna high five you for that snowman. Well done, sir. That was a good snowman.
We put that afterwards. It was like, oh, it looks quite good, and then we got a photo of it. And that happened like organically, and then we posted it, and the post did really well. Like for us, you know, we're only a small gym, but like sometimes these ones that we plan out and want to like think about loads.
I often think sometimes through the image you can see that it's not forced.
Yeah,
and I think you can get that through. So my thing was when I went out, I caught myself doing this, and I was like, okay, you've left it too late now in the day to be able to go build a snowman and get the photo, and your job is your job, and that's just tough shit.
Yeah,
but I thought, what we'll do is I'll get my photo, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my backpack, I'm going to go and I'm going to spend some time in the snow taking pictures for me.
Yeah. Just
of the scenery, of my bag, and just playing with stuff. So I tried to do, like you said, that balance. I went and got done what I needed to do, which took away from the I guess, the exact organicness of the moment. But then once that was done, I was then out of work mode, and I just started walking and looking for just nice shots for me to take to enjoy the photography again, just for me. And so I started taking I did footprints in the snow away from my bag and had my bag up against a tree. Yeah. And it looked a bit, and took it started working with angles of that, so, footprints away from the bag into snow. It looked a bit like adventurous. It was cool. And so I was messing around the lake, and I walked into a bit where the trees were and stuff like that. And as I sat there, as I was just putting the camera away, this falcon came and landed on a tree. I swear to God, no more than 10 feet away from me. I've never, ever seen anything like it before. Yeah. Just out of nowhere, just saw it. It came swooping in and then just perched on this branch. And I was just like, I took my moment to really enjoy it. Yeah. And then I thought, I've got to try and get a picture. And even if it was just for me, just to practice, because I had the camera and I was literally putting it in the bag. Yeah. And as I swung to get it, I thought, this is going to be a cracker. And it was just going to be for me. The fucking tractor came up the bloody Blaine way. And the falcon was like, peace out, dude. And just zoomed off and just gorgeously flew across the field, which I still just, because I was there, I paid no attention to the tractor and just watched this hawk. But dude, this thing was massive. And we're used to seeing like sparrowhawks and stuff like that here. This thing, somebody told me it might have been a goshawk.
I don't know birds.
It was like this.
I'm not a twitcher.
If you watch on YouTube, it was, I reckon, what's 30 centimetres that? So it's probably about 45.
Penis.
50, about the size of a normal,
an average penis.
Good man's penis. Yeah. It was. Let's say it was like, what's that? 12, 18 plus inches. It was big, big thing. You know when you see the talons?
Yeah.
It was one of those. Like this thing. Like if you had a Chihuahua, your Chihuahua's going bye bye.
Yeah.
This was a bye bye Chihuahua. Yeah. This was a see you later Chihuahua hawk. So it was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And I left, again, because I'd stayed out there. I could have taken that photo and then come in and not experience that moment.
Yeah.
But because I caught it, I thought, no, stay out, enjoy where you're at for a little bit. And did it and didn't worry about getting the photo up by 6 p.m.
Yeah.
You know? So it was a balance on that one. It was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So I think I'm going to do a bit more of that in the future. I think when I'm going to go and do photos, I'm going to go to an area where afterwards I can go on a little ramble, do some stuff for me. Yeah.
Yeah, taking that time and having that balance, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
everyone always talks about the work-life balance, and like it's going to be real hard for you to define that because your work is your life.
Yes, and which is odd.
Yeah, and like
because I look at everything with the duality.
Yeah, I know that when I set up the business and the gym, my relationship with training changed drastically because now what was my escapism is now my business.
Yeah.
And it does change things, but for you, it's even different. Like I can still leave the gym and go home, and there's always shit to be done, from social media wise and whatever else. But I can get out of that environment, whereas you literally.
That's what I think the problem is with home training as well.
Yeah.
You know, going to the gym for me is part of my enjoyment of training. Is going to a place that's not my home, full with strangers that I might or might not talk to. That's not. It's just full of other energy.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like a place for me of through those doors. Right, there's some work to be done here now, kind of thing. So here, because it's my house, and I'm looking at this stuff, and it's 10 feet away from me, I can poke it with a stick.
Yeah,
it's the same energy in that room as it is in the room where I'm not feeling the best.
Yeah.
So it transfers. It doesn't give you that escapism like a gym would. Like I can be really. I can have moments in the house where I'm not going to the gym, not going to the gym, and I will not go to the gym for an hour, telling myself I'm not going to go until I man up and go to the goddamn gym. I'm fine when I get there.
Yeah.
I've literally wasted an hour chatting myself. No, you don't need to, or you do, excuses. But the moment I will step in the gym, that fire lights up and I'm off.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't get that with the home workouts. So I think what we said before, we said on the last podcast, go out for a 15-minute walk before you're going to train.
Yeah,
because you get that energy from outside. Yeah. Bring it back inside.
Put some music on or put something motivational on, and like because everyone most of the time when people are going to train, they will pop some music on in the car when they're driving down. Or
yeah,
put the headphones
I do.
In.
Yeah,
and you might not even notice that, but that is you getting your head right.
Well, it's Pavlov's dog, isn't it?
Yeah.
That music comes on, it sets the mode.
Yeah,
gets you going.
There was I'm trying to think. I think it's called Bounce. The book is, and it's a book on basically people performing in sports and like
Bounce.
Yeah. Matthew, I think it's Matthew Side. I might be wrong. He's written a few other books of similar topics, but this one's mainly about sports. I'm sure it's Bounce. Yeah. And he talks about like how people get so good at certain sports and whether there's genetic predispositions to certain things and whatnot. And it kind of debunks a lot of that stuff. And there's a lot about kind of effectively just practicing more.
Well, they say there's that saying, isn't there?
Yeah.
Hard work outworks talent. And talent doesn't work hard.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's kind of I forgot the actual point of where I was getting at with that.
God, we are so bad.
I know,
Dude,
terrible.
You'd think we've been punched in the head more than we have been.
Yeah.
For the level of the things that just drop out of our skull. If our heads were a kitchen utensil, they would be a colander.
Yes. Yeah, they definitely would.
Only holding useless stuff. But but the opposite colander. So like say you put rice in the colander to save the rice, all that would be left in the colander afterwards will be water and the rice has fallen through.
Yeah, it's like a reverse colander.
I have moments in the day where I need some information and my brain, I swear it's a separate entity because I'll be like, brain, we know this. Can I have the information? It'll go, not right now, but how about the lyrics to Top Gun Danger Zone? Is that any use to you right now? And I'm like, no, brain, that's no good. I'm like, well, that's what we've got.
What you're getting right now.
Or telephone number for a house that you no longer live at from when you were 12.
Yeah, or like the registration plate on a car like you had 10 years ago.
Oh, but see, but that's semi-useful.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Not always.
10 years ago, that's been scrapped.
Yeah.
Car that's been scrapped. How about that one? Yeah. Not the current car you own. No idea what that is.
Yeah. Or like your best friend's phone, like house phone number from primary school.
Landline.
They probably had only 12 people move house since then. It's like it's not someone else.
Only elder millennials will know about landlines.
Yeah. Landlines, it's a weird concept now, isn't it?
I know. Let us tell you about the time there were hardwired phones. Attached to walls they were.
So pointless, yeah. It really is. I genuinely don't even know the last time I've used a landline. It's probably
I don't even have one.
You know,
don't even have one because the only thing you get on landlines is cold calls. Cold calls, and I'm not rude enough to just hang up on them.
I am.
Yeah, I got a bit better, but not good enough.
The other day, so like I've recently renewed my phone contract, and like I enjoy.
You have to go through the spiel.
What's
with the spiel, people?
I enjoy the process of like trying to drop the price and like play
Do
them
you?
off each other. Yeah, I find it kind of fun.
Hate it. You know, when you go to countries where you have to barter for everything, you go up and goes, how much is walnut? £20. Like, oh, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Don't make me say 10p.
Yeah.
Like, why are we doing this ridiculousness?
Yeah, like save me
Just
the
tell
time
me the
and tell me
goddamn price.
Well,
Like,
I find it relatively like fun anyway, and it doesn't take too long. But I'd managed to get like basically 30% off that's apparently according to Vodafone or the bloke I spoke to, that is the most that they will take off, and it was going to be £62 something a month for the contract, and I was like, okay, that's cool.
with your phone, I assume.
Yeah, with the phone.
They've gone up, haven't they?
Yeah, I know. It's the S21 Ultra, so it's like stupidly expensive, and this was on pre-order, so it hadn't even come out at this point.
Right.
And then I phoned up because I was like, okay, I'm undecided whether I'm going to go for that or the S20 Ultra. The Note 20 Ultra. I'll call you back tomorrow, or
Were you lying?
call me back. No, I was going to talk to my mate who's got that.
Oh, you were
was
literally,
like,
yeah.
I was thinking about it, and then the next day I called back. Started talking to them, and I was just like, I don't like the sound of this woman. Like, I don't feel like there's any rapport between me and her.
She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, she's not going to honour this discount. And I just hung up on her, and then just called straight. I just called straight back, and then someone else, and they were like quite chatty and friendly. I was like, "Yep, I know that I'll get a good deal with you." And I actually managed to save another £5 a month with this other person. So I was like,
so the other guy lied to you. This
Yeah.
is what I mean. So he's like there telling you this is baseline, this is all I can do. You know, I'll have to sell my dog to the boss if I do any lower. And then you ring up the next day and some bloke called Nigel's like, yeah, I could do £5 off what you were told before.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it was.
that will make me not buy from that company. I will honestly, I will say,
They all did the same thing, though.
but it drives me crackers, man. Just tell them, like, I go in and say, listen, what is your best deal? Because I say to them, I am going to go to all your competitors and find their best deals. And if I find something better than yours and come back to you and then suddenly you can match it, I'm going to only ring you back to tell you I'm not taking it from you and I'm buying it from the other person.
The thing is, though, they've got to do that because so many people don't. Like, most people just won't haggle the price. And
I don't care about other people, Lou.
Yeah.
I don't care about
I know
other
what
people.
you're saying.
I'm
I
trying
find
to
it
get
fun.
my phone
It's like
contract.
me, this is like, fuck the man, I'm beating the
It's
system.
a mentality, though. Like, I hate it all. I'm just like, please, just give me... Listen, look, you can see I've paid my thing. I've been here for this amount of time. Just give me the best deal. Like, what is your best that you can do? Be honest.
Makes me feel like I've achieved something when I
Yeah.
do that.
I've
Every time the bill comes in, I was like, that could have been £30 more.
I'm like the dude who walks into like a car place who's like, I've got a budget of this, and they go, really? Have you seen this one? It's got red leather inside. I'm like, take my money. Yeah. I'm terrible. Like, I have to take a friend with my best mate Mark. I take with me because he's ruthless.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't give a shit. He walks from stuff all the time, and as we're walking away, he'll go, don't worry, they'll call you. Yeah, and they do every time. But I have to. I'm like, I've got this to buy. Can you come with me? He's like, yeah. He loves it.
Yeah.
He loves it. But he
I
also
can tell from how he is that he would be like that, though. Like, he's just like,
it's
just
his
a
thing.
hard bargain.
He just loves to be. He loves to. I think his game. I think he loves the fact of like he's just mentally beat you.
Yeah.
He gets a kick out of it. Like I just this was a game of mental chess and I won.
Yeah. No, I know
it's one
what
of
you're
those.
saying. Well,
Whereas I'm more like flip the board. I'm gonna go doodle.
Yeah. Well, I thought like so this was years ago, maybe like I don't know 6 years ago. Me and Emma, my partner, we went to Tunisia, and they've got like their Medina, which is their like market, and there's the old Medina, and you go around and this like the bartering thing that is what you do. And Emma was really like beforehand, she was like really nervous. She was like, "Oh, I don't want to do it. Will you haggle anything if we need to?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'll go for it." And then out of nowhere, Emma like swoops it. So there was this. I think it was like a fake diesel backpack or something like that.
The fakes! Oh my god! The Turkish one. You was in Turkey, were you?
It was like
some of those fakes were brilliant, and some were so bad that you had to almost buy them just because they were that terrible.
Yeah. No, well, it was good, and it lasted me a couple of years after, so I can't complain. But anyway,
so we know the tale.
Yeah.
Now.
So like, and I was like bartering with this, and fair play to the guy because he didn't have the exact bag that I'd seen elsewhere, and he literally left his shop, ran off. Came back like 2 minutes later, like out of breath, with the bag that I wanted. And then I proceeded to like haggle him down. I was like, I know that's like realistically, he's just gone massive out his way.
Yeah, massive.
And then like Emma pretended to cry to beat because like
Why?
they're very.
Hang on a minute. Wait a minute. What's the storyline where she's in tears? Is
So
the
it's like
bag for someone who's dying?
It was like we haven't got the money to get it. I don't know whether it was for that bag or I think it might have been something else as well. So we haven't got the money for the bag.
And they brought her to tears.
Yeah, so it like pretended to. And like it worked and he dropped the price down. I was
That's
like,
because no man can withstand a woman crying.
But-
It's our ultimate.
they were brilliant.
Kryptonite.
They were brilliant though because they like literally played up to all the like British stereotypes. So like we have the idea of just like them offering camels for your women.
He did
So
that.
they joke about it and they're just like and they'll put on like a fake accent and they're like, "Hello, mate." But like, but they'll try and do it. It was great.
Oh, matey. Yeah, they sometimes confuse you with Australian, though, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I used to get all the time? When I used to go to Egypt quite a lot because when I was in my inverted commas bodybuilding stage, but just hyper diet focused.
Yeah.
I used to go to all inclusives because it would cost too much money to go abroad and shop or go out to eat all the time for what I would need because I'm can't lose muscle, bro. That was before I understood the science behind it all.
Yeah.
So I used to go all inclusives a lot because I just thought it was better value for money and I can eat what I need. And so I went to places like Egypt, Turkey, all the like stereotypical kind of places you go to. Egypt, Sharm el Sheikh. I went there before it's now like Blackpool on steroids. Like it's awful now. It's horrible. I'd never go back. But
after seeing Carl Pilkington, it really put me off.
when they just hound you.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Like you get off whatever transport you've taken to get there, whether it be a taxi that you think might take you to the desert and murder you, or some other coach where there's more people and you feel safer because you're like, well, they're not going to murder us all. Hopefully. I got a tale about. I won't go into it because it's too long at all. But me and Mark went on holiday to Egypt. The brief version of it is don't walk out. Brief version is don't walk out of the airport thinking you can hang with the taxi outside, then go back in and get a taxi because they'll threaten to shoot you if you try to go back into the airport. Yeah, vicious. Yeah, so we ended up getting in some like unknown taxi that we didn't know, and the dude was on his mobile phone the entire way when we were going back. And when you drive back, it's all dark. Yeah, all dark. Just like it's a purpose-built road, but no lights. Yeah, and he's on this like burner phone. Yeah, and just going wibbly wob, like different words I don't understand. Yeah, and Mark's looking at me like, "Are you ready to fight? Because I'm ready to fight." I'm like, I'll try. Yeah. I think I'm ready. Yeah. And it just looked like we were going out into the desert. Yeah. And we thought we were dead. But we were fine. Dropped off, no problem. But it's just, we watched too many Indiana Jones movies.
I think that's it, isn't it? You can get in your own head in that situation.
There'd been some bad times prior in Egypt with the shootings and that before they pedestrianised everything now, haven't they? Because of that bombing it was, I think, yeah. Anyway, you go there and all I got walking through the streets, tangent story, was, "Hey, Rambo. Hey, Rambo." I'm like, kind of cool, but also, why? Yeah. Like, where's the Rambo-ness coming? At the time, I had, like, short hair, I guess. Yeah. So I didn't have the Rambo mullet. Yeah. There wasn't the party mullet going on. And hey, Rambo. And every man, if I talked to him more than 30 seconds, would, at some point, just go, "Arm wrestle." I'm like, why? I'm not 12. Like, arm wrestle? No, I'm cool. Thanks. Arm wrestle? But I'd have to decline it like they were offering me a drink. Yeah. It was everywhere I went. Arm wrestle. And then I went to Turkey and I thought, this will be different. And then about half a day in, "Hey, Rambo." I don't want a shot of fruity liquor at 12 in the afternoon to come into your restaurant.
Yeah. I definitely would.
Yeah, I was on a different level.
Yeah. Just before I opened the gym, went to Tenerife. Which is like the most stereotypical, like...
I've never been.
I actually fucking loved it. I was going in thinking, okay, yeah, everyone goes to Tenerife, here we go. There's a reason why everyone goes to Tenerife.
Here we go.
Like, don't get me wrong, like, we got a very good deal and it was a really nice hotel, the food was brilliant and everything else. But then actually going out into Tenerife was awesome. I was drinking from like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Seriously?
Yeah, like
8 a.m.
You got one of the things you could get was Prosecco because it was all inclusive. Was it all inclusive?
It was all Prosecco.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
clearly
you got you had the option to have
part
Prosecco.
Of the breakfast. Yeah.
So I had Prosecco with breakfast because I was like, "Fuck, I ain't being off alcohol and not having it." And then it was like mojitos all day and pints when I was going out because it was like €1 for a pint.
You mix mojitos and pints.
I was mixing everything, and like about day 5, I was never getting drunk, but I was just only drinking alcohol.
Merry.
And like, got to day 5 and my head was killing me. And I was like, can anyone remember me drinking anything that wasn't alcohol? And I was like, no.
Literally no water.
I'd only drank alcohol for the first 5 days. And I was wondering why my head
That is a little similar to when I went to Cuba.
Yeah.
Because it was, you go to the bar, it was all inclusive, and everything was all inclusive, all the drinks. But you only got served local spirits in the all inclusive, which basically meant you picked your mixers with whatever nail polish remover they were going to pour in with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time on the Egypt story, we went to an all-inclusive nightclub where they put a band around your wrist and you go in and pay for nothing. I thought I was getting apple juice and vodka all night. Proceeded to kill all of my intestinal flora in a single night. After gloating for 2 weeks that I had no upset tummy, because you get the, what do they call it? The Nile... No, what do they call it? The deli belly? Or stuff like a similar thing, but for Egypt. After being like, haha, I've been careful with my food, no upset tummy, killed all my intestinal flora, nearly pooped myself to death. Actually, if I'm going to be honest, I was like a hydrant. It was coming out of all ends.
Oh.
Yeah, for a full day I was in the dark after this night out, and then went to the doctor and was proceeded to be put on a drip for 2 days. Well, one day after the other, they let me off one drip. I had to go back and get another one, where he just refilled all my electrolytes, and then I had to rebuild my intestinal flora. And the guy said to me, "This is when you know you've gone. This is when you know you've gone wrong, right?" He said, "Where have you been? Like, what have you eaten?" And I was like, "Nothing. Like, careful with that." I said, "Have you been to a club?" I went, "Yes, club, all inclusive band." He went, "In the desert, wherever the thing was," and he just looked at me and went, "All inclusive?" I went, "Yeah." He went, and just shook his head.
Yeah.
Like that. And I went, what?
Yeah.
Why? He went,
drain cleaner.
You drink vodka? He goes, yeah. I said, yeah. He went, not vodka. They're just brewing it out the back. It's just nail polish remover. It's just ethanol. Yeah. And they just mix it with apple juice. So obviously it went in and just basically disinfected my intestines for me. Kindly.
Squeaky cleaner.
Yeah. Squeaky clean, but nearly dead. Yeah. So
that's where hand sanitizer is coming from now.
Coolest doctor you've ever seen. Obviously I had the holiday insurance that you get for whatever, but there's an excess, and I was like, I wasn't like, I didn't have money to burn or anything like that, so I'm like worried that the bills are going to come through. And he just looks at me, and he's a cool motherfucker. He's hotel doctor dude as well. Just listens to me, goes, "No problem. You sign what I give you?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "No excess." And what he basically did was he put me on 2 drips, billed me for 4, covered my excess with his bill.
Yeah.
So said I'd paid the excess, but I hadn't, and got the excess off the company just as a favour.
That's awesome.
How clever and how cool was that guy?
Awesome.
Help me poop again and save me some money.
Those are like the only 2 qualities you need in a doctor: saving you money and making you poop.
That's most people's complaints. Something coming out that shouldn't be coming out, or there's stuff not coming out that should have been out days ago.
Yeah. Are you a more constipated person, or are you a more
Are we actually having
person?
this conversation?
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
Oh right, we're deep now. We're going in
because people only really go
people
one.
Go one or the other. I have no problem.
Yeah,
I'm a 2 a day, 3 a day guy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Apparently that's not the healthiest either. Apparently it should be a 1 a day, very concentrated moment of your day.
Oh really?
Poop, stool, and all that jazz is the healthy guys do it.
Oh, I heard that a few more times is from what I heard,
better than not going.
Yeah, because I think it varies.
Let me just pause and stop the video again because I've got a cool one. Not a cool one actually at all. It's a horrible one. I can say it anyway. Girls, whenever you have this conversation, talk to me and they're always like, "Oh, I go once a week." I'm like,
once every 6 months.
Oh, you're dying inside because they're like, "Why should the toilet so often?" I was like, "What do you mean so often? Like once a day?"
Yeah.
Like that's not once a week. Could you imagine? Do you imagine how much we would be waddling around?
I was going to say, I'd be like 120 kilos after a week.
We'd be like, gains!
Yeah.
No, constipated.
Yeah.
Like, so ladies, not normal. Yeah. Once a week? No.
I'm
not
sure,
normal.
There is, obviously people are going to vary, but I'm sure it said between twice a day and once every 2 days, any frequency around that is, relatively decent. I'd say
until you start whey protein, then it's 5 times in the first day.
Yeah, if you're lactose intolerant or whatever. Because I'm sure something like 80% of the population is lactose intolerant to some degree. Yeah. But most people, it's relatively subtle, so they won't necessarily know.
That is a good point, actually. Yeah. So can we just attack the people who say, I can't have gluten. I've got gluten intolerance. Oh, really? How did you find out about your gluten intolerance? Well, I was feeling very bloated. I don't know why this is the voice I do when I do somebody who's saying something daft. So I'm sticking with it. I feel very bloated, and I just cut bread out, right? Cut bread out, right? Cut bread out, right? Because gluten bread, right? Cut bread out,
right?
Totally,
right?
Do you believe me?
Right.
Cut bread out.
I do, right?
Right. I want a sticker for it. Yeah, cut bread out.
You savage.
I'm fine now. I was like, really? You're fine? Yes, definitely gluten intolerance. Let's just back you up there a little bit. What was your normal daily intake like? I'd get up, I've had 2 pieces of toast, right? Yeah. And then I'd have a wrap for lunch, right? Yeah. Then when you get home, what would you do? I'd probably make a sandwich or something, and then I'd have my tea. Right, so you're having 8 slices of bread a day of some form. Yeah. Dumbass. Of course you've got some kind of gluten build-up. Like, can I just tell people now? Gluten, the protein, when it breaks down, it forms a waxy substance. So no matter what human you are, if you eat too much bread, you're going to get a gluten build-up. Eat 2 pieces of bread a day, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
It's literally the rule for everything. Like, moderation is key.
Yes, 100%.
From the person who was saying he was drinking every day on holiday.
If you have a severe gluten intolerance, what will happen is you will eat 1 piece of bread. 1. And it will mess you up. Mm-hmm. If that doesn't happen, you are not gluten intolerant.
Yeah.
So you do not suddenly need to stop eating bread and become vegan.
Yeah.
And start telling everybody that you have now cut out bread and feel wonderful and also vegan.
Yeah.
No, just come on, balance, people. Find things.
Yeah, that's it. I think balance is like it's key for everything.
Sorry, just before we get mad, people. Nothing wrong with veganism.
No.
It's all for it. I eat some vegan stuff now.
Yeah, I've
cut down my meat consumption.
I've got
I'm cool
quite
with
a few,
it, but I just like some meat.
Yeah, quite a few friends that are vegan, and
It's not that difficult anymore.
I was going to say, I only recently have really reintroduced meat. I had probably.
Do you go full?
I wasn't vegan.
You
it was vegetarian for like. I don't know. It was okay, and there was like breaks where I would have something, but it was over a year.
Your veggie means you can still have dairy, doesn't it?
Yes, but I don't have dairy anyway because I'm
pescatarian or veggie.
So I
Do you have fish?
I occasionally would have fish.
So you're a pescatarianist.
Yeah, but like it was like one thing, like one piece of fish a week or something. So it was still very minimal. But if I'm honest with you, it was for me. I found it to be a little bit hard work because of just getting my protein intake in, and like there's only so much I was able to do.
Well, this is it, isn't it?
Beans.
The protein levels are the issues. I mean, getting better with I love
vegan shakes.
My mum, my mum and sister are both vegetarian. Have been for quite a while. And when I go to her, she makes me this beautiful corn lasagna thing. You wouldn't know.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know. And since she's done that, I've started eating that more. That mince, that fake mince that they have.
Mince. Yeah, it's lovely.
It's lovely stuff. So I do try and actively reduce my meat consumption to more of a level. Whereas if I think, okay, if I was hunting it, how much meat would I truly eat?
Yeah.
And I just think if we all did that just a little bit, cut out a few portions, we would reduce the need for such a killing of domesticated animals, which is cool by any stretch, you know.
That's it.
Really cool.
I think I went from pretty much having meat in every meal of every day, to then I initially was like, I'm just going to cut it down, but somehow like I was cutting it down, but then before I realised it, I'd gone a month without having anything. I was like, actually, that wasn't that hard. So then I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll keep it going.
That's it. If it's facilitated, it's easier, and now shops are getting easier to do it. So that's cool. And it is. If you haven't tried the vegan stuff, honestly, I'd try that. I don't know what it's called. I can't think of hand, but it's basically their version of mince meat.
It is like the corn one. Is
I think it's corn. Yeah, but the only thing my mum did say was you have to double flavour it.
Yes,
because it doesn't take the flavourings as well. But still good, and a decent 20 grams of protein per 100, which is no worse than red meat. Red meat. Most people think red meat's this amazing muscle, but it's only 20 grams of protein per 100.
Yeah,
it's not amazing. Like chicken's 31 in comparison, which is a huge difference. Tuna 20 as well sucks. Yeah, tuna's not worth it. Tuna's just not worth it.
I hate tuna.
Tuna steak's nice, but other than that, I had something I wanted to say before that. Oh yeah, so I met somebody once, and I thought this was a really cool idea. We tangent so much, man. It's hilarious. Weren't we talking about some kind of like motivation? Now we're on being vegan. I don't understand. Anyway, she was she was one of my sister's friends, and it was at her birthday, and she was vegan. Mm-hmm. But then she ordered something that wasn't vegan. I was like, "Aren't you vegan?" She was like, "Oh, I'm an in-house vegan." Mm-hmm. I was like, "What's that?" She was like, "Well, if I can eat vegan when I'm out and about with friends and things like that, I will do. Mm-hmm. But because of the nature of our society, vegetarianism is much more of an option in most places." Yeah. So she said, when I'm out, I will be vegetarian if necessary, but then when I'm home, I'm vegan. Yeah. I was like, that is a sick way of being, because you're not limiting being able to go out and socialise. Yeah. That's a great way of being.
That's maybe still a more restricted thing of what I was doing. Like I wanted to try and cut it out, so I didn't buy any meat. But then we went out for someone's birthday. This was obviously pre-lockdown. To like Redigio Rico in like Birmingham, and it's like a meat restaurant. I'm not going.
Is that one of those places where they come out and go, "Would you like some chicken heart?" And you're like, "No, you weirdo."
Well, I did have some chicken heart, to be fair.
You had it, yeah. What is that about?
I don't know.
Would you like this tiny piece of meat on a giant sword? Not particularly. Where's the chicken breast?
Well, they had,
which they never bring out.
So they have like a paddle, and then it's like a red and a green. So when it's on green, they just keep coming, and it's different stuff, and they come out and they cut it, and it's all.
It's a
fresh
Ben
done.
Brazil, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. This is Rodizio Rico.
They're the same thing, aren't they? These Brazilian restaurants. Yeah, Ben Brazil is the one in up north.
Yeah, but it was gorgeous anyway, and like I've eaten there before in the past when I was eating meat at the time, and I was like, I'm not fucking going to Rodizio Rico, a place that was like best known for all their meat. And
this is where you're doing your.
Yeah, this is when I was not eating
vegetarian thing.
Vegetarian. The goal is just to keep it reduced and not to limit myself and not to not have any social kind of have fun when I'm going out socially.
The only issue that I find with some people is that they like to pronounce that they're vegetarian, vegan, or whatever, or whatever, gluten intolerant, this intolerant, whatever. If they're on specialized diet of any form, that they can't possibly go there and eat there. I'm like, well, cool, don't come.
Yeah,
and then what's the point?
Yeah, it was. I think it's getting so much better now because being veggie or vegan is becoming way more mainstream. Initially, it was almost, and this is potentially going to offend people, but it was the Jehovah's Witness of dietary choices.
Oh, clever! Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like everyone, they can't just be vegan.
You know just how I said that was clever, so I'd join in on the insult.
Yeah,
just in case you get flack.
Yeah,
just doubled up and taking that. Take that back for you, mate.
But it's fine that if that's what you want to do.
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned, everyone do what you want to do as long as you're not hurting anyone. That's fine. But then obviously there's then pestering people or berating people for their life choices.
Especially now when we're locked in and locked down, try some vegan stuff, man.
Yeah,
or vegetarian even if you don't want to go that far. Yeah. Try it cooking with it and stuff like that because it made me feel better knowing because I'm an animal lover.
Yeah, me too.
But I do like the taste of meat. Yeah. But it made me feel better that I was doing something to reduce my consumption. Mm-hmm. And the chicken I bought from Sainsbury's, so it's pretty good. If I put that in a goddamn frying pan, if I'm not buying it, here's my top tip: if you want to buy chicken, go to halal butchers. Halal butchers, they're not allowed to mess with the meat because of obviously religious standing. Yeah. Meat can't be messed with. They will trim and clean and dice the meat for you before weighing it. Mm-hmm. So you only pay for what you can cook. Yeah. There's my handy hack for the week. If you're going to go out, halal butchers, way forward.
My granddad was a halal butcher.
Oh really?
Yeah, my dad told me a story about when he was a kid. They had a pet goat for a bit, and then all of a sudden they didn't have a pet goat.
Yes,
and then they had goat for tea.
Oh, this is delicious. What is it? It's Susie.
Yeah, yes, my granddad was a halal butcher.
He Jurassic Parked you, goat.
Yeah.
He Jurassic Parked it.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good handy hint. And halal butchers, that's our top food hack for the week.
Yeah, I was going to say, so many they're pumped with water just to get the weight up.
That was it, yeah.
When you cook it, you see that water come out in the pan.
See it? Mate, I could not do a stir fry.
Boiling.
Because it was boiling. Yeah. The chicken, I had to take it to the sink, pour it off, and I'm on my own in the house, muttering to myself, pouring this chicken off, going, bloody crap, is a stupid Dudland sister. Like, why do they do it? Like, I'm not buying chicken there anymore. That's it. I'm going to the butchers down the road and supporting them.
Yeah, like farm shops or
do that, man. If you're near anywhere that's a farm shop, go and support your local farm shop because those guys, they're giving you real value for money because per kilo that shit will not shrink.
No, yeah, you might think that you're saving yourself a bit of money.
You are not,
but it's not. Yeah. It's like you can go on YouTube and find a shitload of videos of the processes that it goes through. Yeah, you can see the processes that it goes through, and that
you don't want to see.
Yeah, I was exactly the same though. I'm a massive animal lover, and then I found just questioning myself, how can I profess to be an animal lover when I eat meat constantly? And
it's true.
There's such a disconnect between
because no face, no feeling kind of thing.
Yeah, and I was out at it was like this kind of farm zoo type thing where you could go around and look at the farm animals and whatever. I was with Emma a couple of years back, and I was walking around and there was piglets in one of the barns, and I was just fussing the piglets, and
they're clever animals, pigs.
I absolutely loved them. And then just outside, there's a load of kids getting served bacon sandwiches and stuff. And I was like, "Fuck, man!"
Yeah, it's a reality check.
Yeah, and I was just like, "I can't be part of this." I was like, "Fair enough. If you want to eat meat, but then don't say that you love animals." And
I don't know. I think that there is definitely a balance. Listen, we're domesticating animals and we're rearing them to be food.
Yeah.
So if they weren't reared to be food, they wouldn't be here anyway.
Exist,
yeah. So I think the thing is do we need as much as we kill? No,
100%
no, we don't. So let's kill less.
Yeah.
and let's just be fairer with these things that we're breeding. Let's care about the animals a little bit more, charge a little bit more for the meat, make it a premium again. So that there's a reason to buy it.
Like
make meat a premium, not a fucking necessity.
Yeah, because it's a luxury at the end of the day. And me saying like,
well, you're taking a fucking life. Of course, it's a luxury.
Yeah, literally. Like me,
literally think of it that way. You're taking a life to have that thing on your plate. Yeah. Fucking make the effort.
Would you do that yourself? Would you take that life yourself? No, you wouldn't.
No. 99%. This is the thing. I would, with a bow and arrow or a gun, hunting for like 2 days to go find the elder beast that needs taking out to support the rest of the population the way the hunters do it. I think that would be a sick way to live. Yeah. But we don't live in a country where we can do that. I was just thinking, actually, so we've done the vegan and vegetarian thing. I think we've got a good concept on that. Let's not go too far deep into that. No. Just a quick one, which is a different one. I was having a conversation with someone the other day. What is the biggest wild animal? Because in America, you can get killed by a cougar as you're wandering around. Just have a mountain lion will just bite your face off. Yeah. In England, I think the worst we have to deal with is badgers.
Yeah, it gets off.
What is badgers the biggest? They are mean, but they're little.
Yeah,
like you can kick them in the face.
Yeah, I don't think a human's ever been killed by a badger.
No, not been a frontline story of a human mauled to death by badgers.
But like dogs and stuff, dogs have been killed by badgers.
What is our biggest wild animal? Now, my answer to this was horses.
Are they wild though?
No. There's around here in Shropshire. There's wild horses on the moors. Yeah, 100, a full lot of them.
Yeah, I would say that.
Did you reckon?
Yeah.
Or were there
are some wolves that have been reintroduced. So this is like
we have wolves.
Yes, well, it was on the I think if I remember right, it was on the border to Wales. So at one point.
Near me is wolves.
Yeah, so
the border to Wales is wolves.
So I checked this out after. I'm sure it's the border to Wales. It was just like it was in Wales, but
I immediately want to go find the wolves.
So like I was driving to work in my old job years ago, and I saw this. It was a dog, and it was huge.
Yeah.
And it was pitch black. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning, early drive to work. And
where are you driving? Wales.
Yeah. And like it was on the side of dual carriageway. And just saw it for a split second, and like if your stomach drops, like I was just like,
ooh, moment.
Yeah, but it was literally a split second, and I was like, fuck that! I swear that was like the biggest fucking dog I've ever seen. And then I like later on that day, like I spoke to my gaffer about it, who I was working for, and I was like, I swear I saw a wolf, and he was like, nah, like there aren't any wolves in the country anymore, like, and I was like, I fucking saw the biggest dog ever then, because like. It looked like a dog, and it was huge. And then, like, I came home, told Emma about it. Which is the
biological description of a wolf.
Yeah,
it says it. If you look at wolf, it says dog, but fucking huge.
Yeah, fucking huge dog.
Fucking huge dog.
And then I googled it to see like, are there any wolves? And it was like 10 or 12 wolves had been reintroduced.
So we had wolves in this country. I never knew that.
We used to have wolves.
Really?
Yeah.
Christ.
And they've been reintroduced, and they have pictures because they're all tracked, and it's like they've not just dropped them in and like fucking crack on, see if you get anyone.
Off you go.
Yeah, and they're all being tracked, and they're like
Edinburgh's that way.
And went through, and there was only one that was like a really dark, like almost blacky grey, and the others were like lighter colours. And so I saw the wolf that I saw earlier, and on the picture that was what
you saw.
Yeah. And
that's mad. It's in Wales though, because I would have thought Scotland would be the wolf place.
Yeah.
Hence, we're making the Edinburgh joke. Were there ever? Now, is this just my brain? Bears in Scotland. For some reason, my brain nags at me like there was sightings of bears in Scotland or something. No, I don't know if that's true or not.
I have no idea.
Tell us if you know. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
But I think so. Okay. Biggest wild animal that could maul you then would be wolves in England.
Yeah, it would be a wolf.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's better than dying by badger.
Yeah.
Death by wolf on your gravestone is much cooler.
Yeah.
Imagine on your gravestone. Here lies Lex Griffin, exploring woods, 2022 when COVID was over. Yeah. Mauled to death by badgers.
have you seen honey badgers though?
Yeah, but we don't have those.
No, I know, but
they're a different kettle of fish.
I was going to say honey badgers are bad motherfuckers.
Yeah, no, they will take things.
Have you seen like the videos of them fighting like one honey
lions?
Badger walks into a pack of lions and starts attacking them? Literally strolls in and fucking goes for like 3 lions.
He's like the ghetto gangster of the Serengeti.
Yeah, have you seen the one with the snake?
No.
So I can't remember what snake it is, but it's like basically if a human gets bit by it dies. Dead. Like, yeah. This honey badger, like, and there's a footage of it. This honey badger, like, starts mauling this snake, and it's getting bit and getting bit and getting bit, and it managed to like it basically like strips the fucking like skin off this snake. It like mauls it so it's dead. And then the honey badger's like trying to eat it, but like it's fucked up from all this poison because it's been bitten so many times, and it literally like you think it's died, it just like collapses, and then like an hour later it wakes up and then just finishes eating it and then fucks off. It's like one bite would kill a human. Bearing in mind the honey badgers are like
tiny.
Yeah, they're like 15 kilos probably at most.
Yeah.
So it's just taken a shitload of bites, loads of poison, just fell asleep for a bit, woke up and then eaten them.
Have a sleep, I'll be right. Just leave me for a minute.
Like, they're honey badgers
Solid.
are bad motherfuckers.
They are bad, yeah. I've seen them against lions.
Yeah.
And they do not give a shit.
That's the thing, they've got such attitudes.
To the point where the lions like, yeah, I'm not, this thing could fuck me up. It's not worth my time.
Yeah, and then they're so hardy as well, because like obviously like the lions are attacking them. It's not like the lions are just too scared to even touch them.
Yeah.
The lions are going for them and biting them and throwing them, and the honey badger's like, yeah, whatever,
Yes,
keeps
coming back. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? They're basically the door-to-door salesman of the
Yeah, mate. Yeah, they're crazy. If no one's seen them, just type in honey badger on YouTube, and there will be just some awesome videos. They give zero fucks.
They honestly do. Is that you will go down a rabbit? Well, you'll go down a honey badger hole. And I think, mate, I'm so much more cheered up than before you were here.
Oh, really?
I feel human again.
Good.
Which has brought us full circle.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much. It's very, very cool of you.
Boom.
Thank you very much.
We didn't even get
great.
any questions, did we?
No, I was going to say, because we've come full
Quick
circle,
fire.
Let's do a quick fire. We're at about an hour 15, so let's do 5-minute blast.
Okay,
Quick question.
Cool.
So these are questions from you guys on Instagram. If you do want to hit us up with questions on Instagram about this, normally I will story you and say, listen, we're going to film a podcast. Hit us up with some questions. But you can always hit up myself, Lex_fitness, or the barbell. Do you want barbell or yourself? Let's do both.
Yeah,
you can do barbell, Black Country Barbell Gym, which is black_country_gym. Or you can hit up Mr. Lewis himself, which is Lewis and then a word I can't say.
Lewis Majid. So one word, Lewis, M-A-J-I-D. Lewis
There you
Majid.
go. And you can always hit us up with questions there. If you want to message them during the week before us recording, that's cool. Or if you want to wait for the story posts, you can do that too. So we're going to hit these up now. So we're going to quick fire these. You'll either get a sensible answer or a ridiculous one. That's how it's going to go.
Okay. So we've got one here saying best achievement ever.
Best achievement ever.
Yeah.
Ooh, tough one. Damn you. That's not quick fire. Best achievement ever. Best achievement ever. Can't immediately what jumps to my head is like I was on the front of a magazine.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Train magazine,
Yeah.
and it happened in Las Vegas. And they rang me up and were like, "You're in Vegas. We're in Vegas. Do you want to do a cover shoot?" And I was like, "That's pretty cool." I'm pretty sure it's not my greatest achievement, but it's the coolest random achievement that I didn't expect.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. For me, it would be like opening up the gym. That's like,
gym.
That's my only real good achievement.
Yeah.
Everything else has been kind of lackluster.
Because one of mine would have been with sticking with Gymshark for so long,
Yeah.
but because it's such a long process, that it's not like a sudden achievement.
Yeah.
That was like that was like an unexpected.
It started
achievement.
really early days when
well,
Gymshark were really small, and then
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
No clue that it would be what it would be. So that would be my most unexpected achievement. Okay. Yeah.
So another question is preferred or recommended ways to soothe overly sore muscles.
Oh, that's really easy. If you take a home pour of whiskey at about 9 o'clock at night, and then wobble to bed. Yeah, that's a solid way.
I would go for an attractive person of your preferred sex giving you a good old rub down.
I'm going with yours is better than mine. What about a bit of whiskey and then a rub down?
Yes, even better. Or a rub down with with the whiskey.
Or a salt bath.
Yeah.
Always good.
Yeah,
get a salt
Epsom
bath.
salts, yeah.
Actually, I will give you this little handy hint, and I'm going to try this. Ice bath. Oh, that's cool, yeah, but I mean, getting all your ice in about a bit of £40, Amazon, home sauna. It's a tent that you sit in.
Yeah.
I reckon that'd be dope. I'm going to buy one, and we'll let you know.
Yeah, cool. Okay, we've got one. What is your favourite movement for every major body part?
Hip thrusts.
For everything.
It's all in the hips.
So,
it prepares you for everything in life.
It's all
hip
in
thrust.
the hips.
Hip thrust. Your favourite movement for every body part?
Okay,
so quick blast.
Yeah,
okay.
delts, favourite movement.
Arnold press. Biceps is hammer curls. Triceps is skull crushers with dumbbells at an angle. With rotational skull crushers.
Pecs.
Single squeezed counted dumbbell press. So it's like you get to the top and squeeze and hold for 3 seconds, and then come down over a count of like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I prefer lightweight concentration. Quads is leg press because you can do it whether you're fucked up or not.
Yeah.
Squats is like just soul killing and crushing, and if you've got anything wrong with you can't do them.
Yeah.
Back is going to be 100% lat pull down. I think there's so many grip variations of it. And what are we missing? Calves.
Hamstrings. Glute. Well, you've already said glute tips.
Hamstrings is straight leg deadlifts.
Yeah.
Amazing. Calves is going to be multiple toe
Just having good genetics.
multiple toe. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Good genetics.
Yeah. Sod all you. Is it Chinese people who just have amazing calves?
Yeah.
You. Are
I've got good calves.
So jealous. Oh yeah, I know. I can see them through the genes, which is
They pop.
the principle. Yeah.
The only thing I've never trained is the only thing I get complimented on.
Mine are like Mr. Potato Head calves. They're like, there's nothing for 3/4 of my lower leg, and then just this lump at the top. And like an angry lump as well. Really lean, really angry, but just like if I wear anything that covers the calves, it looks like I have 0 legs.
Yeah.
0 legs. And then, so calves will be a multi-point standing press, or seated press, where you turn your toes in, then have them in squared off, and then have them turned out, and you just rotate through all 3, like do 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. It's fucking killer. I love it. Perfect. And I think that's everything. Shoulders, chest, back, hammies, quads. I don't really train glutes on their own, but we really should.
Yeah.
So on that one, I like those abductor and adductor machines. They tend to really hit my glutes because they make me work them a bit more.
For me, I would say it'd be quite different because of how I approach training. Like, I don't approach training in like a body part.
Don't get bogged down in technicalities here, Luke. Let's
Yeah,
just
okay,
get your
all
favourite point. So I'm going to call it, you say it, right?
Yeah,
so we're going to start. Well, with you, here's a different one. Neck.
Neck. Okay, so that's just going to be... Like, you can't do one without the other, but I would say, like, a neck curl is going to probably be more beneficial for somebody.
With the head thing?
Yeah, with the head.
Makes
So
you
head
look like
harness.
a remedial student.
Yeah, so you're going to look very special in your head harness. But, yeah, if you want to train neck, I would say a curl's probably more useful than an extension.
Okay, cool. But I think neck is a really important one most of us neglect.
Yeah.
I'd like to start training neck again.
Why don't people train neck?
I don't know. When
you
I
look
wrestled,
goofy as fuck when you
dude,
train
my
neck.
neck was as thick as my head when I wrestled. It's definitely not as thick as it used to be. So I'd like to start training neck again. Okay, shoulders.
I would say a barbell behind the neck press if you've got the shoulder mobility to do it.
You don't want shoulder health for very long, do you?
It's fine if you're using it in an appropriate range of motion and you have the ability to do it. It's when people load it up when they're not capable and also trying to touch their traps with it.
Yeah,
it's going to be something where you're going to be going to a 90-degree angle, and also not necessarily something that you're going to load up majorly heavy.
I blew my shoulder out doing that exact exercise. Went too heavy too soon, and also went behind the neck accidentally instead of to the front. Yeah, just out of habit, and went too heavy and did it and popped it.
Yeah, so it's a
legit will pop your shoulder out.
Yeah,
it'll fuck you up.
It's a brilliant. It's literally probably one of the best shoulder builders, but also there is high risk with that. Which
don't go too deep is going to be one with that one. Go as shallow as low as feels comfortable, and then bang straight back up. Yeah. Okay, cool. Chest,
bench press. I think, for me, flat out bench press, I think that being able to add... Bench press is going to be the movement that you're going to be able to lift the most amount of load with. Yeah. So for me, and obviously it's going to vary depending on limb length. If you've got very long arms, it'll become a bit tricep dominant. Yeah. But bench press allows you to shift the most amount of weight, so theoretically put the most amount of meat on your pecs.
I've suffered from shoulder injuries over the time, so I tend to avoid bench press and go for the dumbbells. And I think that's probably a mistake. I think it's just probably my bad bench press form.
Yeah.
I'm knowledgeable on it. Like, I know how to lap my back in and everything, keep my shoulders back, do all that jazz. But there just seems to be a point where it loads onto my shoulder.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're feeling that at home,
like bench press is something that I'm very good with. So maybe when we're back open, we can kind of go.
We'll do that. Yeah. What's a quick tip to deload from the shoulder on a bench press?
So a lot of the time, it's going to be like where you're trying to lower the weight to. A lot of the people try and lower it to mid chest, and it's automatically going to make it way more chest dominant. You're going to be looking for nipple line or sternum. Keeping those elbows tucked a lot more, and also how your hand position is. So actually being able to internally like rotate your wrists a little bit, which will allow a bit more.
Squeezing the little finger helps, doesn't it?
Yes,
that helps engage all the back. If you're at home now, you squeeze your fist and then squeeze your little finger and then try and tense your back. It's way easier if you squeeze your little finger and tense your back at the same time.
Yeah, also
that really helps. And keeping back tense throughout the entire fucking motion.
Yeah.
Don't get to the bottom, release everything, and then wobble your way back up, which is what most people do.
Yeah, scapular retracted, lockdown, you are going to have a slight arch. Doesn't need to be anything excessive. That's also going to reduce the range of motion. And also, when your torso, when you're arched up, you're actually theoretically pressing in a slight decline because your rib cage is elevated. Of course, yeah. So that's automatically going to take a lot of that. Shoulder. Yeah, it's going to take it off. So that's another thing.
Okay, bicep.
Oh, just a preacher curl, to be honest. Easy bar, preacher curl.
Nice. Tries.
For me, my elbows get pissed off with any direct tricep work, but a lying, like rolling tricep extension. So
What on earth is that?
So,
Supposed to be quick fire, Lou, and you're bringing in rolling tricep curls. Go on.
A skull crusher, obviously, your elbows, your upper arms are going to stay at a fixed point, and you're just hinging at the elbows.
Yep.
With a rolling skull crusher or a rolling tricep extension, you're actually going to let your elbows track backwards over your head, so you're going to get that stretch in your lats, and it'll just make it not so exclusively focused on elbow flexion.
So what you're allowing is the shoulder to move backwards as the weight goes down. You're allowing those arms to angle backwards past the head. Yeah. So here's my thing with skull crushers. I never do them above the chest. I will always start my arms out at an angle and only come back up to that angle.
All right.
That might help.
Yeah.
I've always done that because my same thing with elbows. I feel like it stresses the elbows too.
And it pretty much all direct tricep work and my elbows other than that. Quads, like, again, I don't train directly quad, so I would go for like squats or split squats probably. I think a split squat would be great, but
split squat's a cool one.
You're not going to...
Let's assume most people fuck up on a squat. Split squat is a...
Yeah, I think a split squat's or a box squat as well, to be fair, although that you're going to find that a little bit more hip dominant. Goblet squat's quite great, but you're going to really struggle with the loading of it because at some point your legs are going to be far stronger than what you're going to be able to hold. Like that's a front squat is going to be probably
goblet, if you're struggling with your squats, is going to be really good for building that technique. And then split squat is a great one if you struggle with the squat mechanics. Mm-hmm. And you're at home, obviously, now, and you've got a bar that's easy to do if you don't have something to rack a barbell on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
A good one. Calves, I don't train calves because they're already big.
Because you don't need to, because you're an asshole. Yeah. And, well, let's do the other ones. Forearms. Here's a really cool one for if you're in the gym. Is holding at the top of a cable rather than the bottom and curling. So if you're holding the cable pulling behind your head, you let your wrist flex outward and then bring your wrist forward. Yeah. It's so much nicer than having a barbell rolling over your knees. Yeah. So much nicer. But if you're at home, what would you suggest for forearms at home?
Forearms at home. Oh, that's an interesting one.
Just dumbbell, kind of hand over the knee. I would suggest doing it overhand.
So, like flexion and extensions, only that's only one potential way of doing it, and also with that, you do have an increased.
Is there a way of just doing it with a grip?
Yeah, definitely.
So what could we do with just grip?
Like towel pull-ups, something like that will absolutely blow your forearms up massively.
Okay, that's a cool one.
Yeah,
that's a cool one.
And everyone has. Yeah, you can even do that. You can hang as long as your door is structurally sound.
Yeah. Here's a tip for the door. If you're going to do pull-ups on a door, put a door stop underneath the furthest point of the door away from the hinge. So. Yeah. That will then it gives the part away from the hinge, the furthest part away from the hinge, something to press down on, and you'll actually not fuck your door up.
Yeah.
So many people just jump onto their door and like, it came off the hinges. Yeah. Did you support the other end of the door? No, that's why.
Yeah,
leverage.
It's not made to support a human being. Yes. So yeah, towel pull-ups, they're savage. They will blow your forearms up. Any kind of anything that's going to make a fat grip, that's one element. If you've got grippers, crushing strength. The forearms are really diverse, even though people kind of get stuck in this habit of extension and curl with your forearms. It's only a one-dimensional way of training them.
Lovely. Well, I think we covered everything there, and we are coming up on an hour 27, so that is enough from us for this week, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure. That honey rum is delicious.
We're going to have some more once this is over.
We're 100% just carrying on this now. So, yes, thank you very much for coming in, Lou. It's been an absolute pleasure. You've really cheered me up this week. If you're feeling down, guys, remember, take a step back. It is all going to be okay. We'll catch you in the next podcast. Make sure to hit us up with any questions on our socials. And we are available on all Audible channels as well as YouTube. So check us out there. Links for everything in the description. Toodle pip.
Thank you for listening. Toodle pip.